cylinders. In the previous lectures, we made the analysis of thin cylinders. The main difference between the thick and thin cylinders based on the ratio of thickness to the internal diameter of the cylindrical shell. So, if the ratio of thickness to internal diameter is less than 1 by 20, simply that is thin cylinder. If it is greater than the ratio of thickness to internal diameter is greater than 1 by 20, that is called as thick. The only thing is the stress is constant along the circumference in case of the thin, but it is not same in case of the thick cylinders. Today, let us see the analysis of thick cylinders. So, simply, its analysis based on the Lami's theorem. What the Lami's theorem? Simply, the longitudinal strain is uniform across the cross section of the cylinder. First case. For example, this is a cylinder. This is the internal diameter. Let us say. So, very simple case. I think that this is the internal diameter. This is the thickness. Let us assume this is the thickness. Am I right? Here, the thickness, the ratio of thickness to internal diameter is less than that 1 by 20, that is thin. If it is greater than, that is the thick. It means, let us assume, so the ratio of T by D is greater than 1 by 20. Simply that is called as thick cylinders. Here the longitudinal strain is uniform across the cross section of the cylinder. Longitudinal strain simply in the previous cases, that is epsilon 2. It is constant throughout the cross section of the cylinder. Let us one assumption. This assumption is reasonably good for a large portion except near the ends. So very simple. The theory based on this assumption is called as Lami's theory. So that is the Lami's theory. So it means the strain is constant. That is very important. The strain is constant across the longitudinal strain. This is the longitudinal strain. Across the longitudinal strain is along the length. For example, it is constant throughout the cross section. So this is the very important one, that a reasonable assumption. Based on this assumption or based on this Lami's theory, we made the analysis of thick cylinders. So this is the first point. What is the first point? Based on the ratio of thickness to diameter, internal diameter, if it is less than 1 by 20, simply there comes under the thin. If it is greater than 1 by 20, that is thick. Again, with one assumption, we made the analysis, that is the longitudinal strain is constant throughout the cross section. So based on this assumption, that is called as Lami's theory. For example, let us consider a thick cylinder. Say this is the outer diameter of the cylinder. Alright, just I would like to show the cross section. This is the interval. This is the cylinder. Simply let us assume this is a cylindrical portion. I think that let us assume this is the center line. This is the center line. The hatching portion is represented with the thickness. This is the first one. Am I right? It is very clear. What we have to do? Simply we can say this. This is another view. That is, one is, this is the diameter. Second one is, let us say, this is the another one. This is the next one. Simply, this is the side view. Simply say as. Right? Here, let us see the First one is the R2. Here R2 is the radius. This is R2. This is simply R1. What is that? Simply says here R2 is the external radius of the cylinder and R1 is the internal radius of the cylinder, and finally L is the length of the cylinder. This is the length of the cylinder L. Here L is the length of the cylinder, R1 is the internal radius and R2 is the external radius. And let us consider an elemental ring of the cylinder of radius. Here just I would like to consider elemental ring. This is the elemental ring. This is elemental ring. Let us consider this is the elemental ring. Is represented with the acting portion of radius, simply says this is the central of radius small x, with thickness dx. Alright, so here definitely simply it shows this is at a distance, or that is the this is R1, simply says this is R1, this is R2, simply says this is also, or this is the thickness. Let Px is equal to radial pressure. Let Px is equal to radial pressure. Right. Next one is Px plus dPx is the radial pressure on the outer surface. This is in the inner surface. Next, Px plus dPx, that is suffix px, is the radial pressure on the outer surface. Sigma x is the, let us say the sigma x is the, here the sigma x is the hoop stress. This is the labeling says. Now just we have to find out the bursting forces, on which area it is bursted or acting. So simply whenever the force P is acting, now let us see the cylindrical shell. Simply this is the cylindrical shell of section of this one. This is as very simple. Let us assume. So simply this is assumed as a pressure Px. This is the Px, am I right? With diameter 2x, very clear. So thickness is taken as, this is dx. Now let us take the bursting force. What about the bursting force? Let us take the first one is the bursting force. So this is very important one, bursting force. So I think that the cylindrical shell may be burst due to the fluid pressure acting on it. On which area it is acting? Very simple. What about the pressure? Force into area. The pressure into area. We know that. So pressure P is equal to force by area. So what we have to calculate? We have to calculate the force exerted on the cylinder which burst the cylinder. Simply P into A. So what about the pressure? Pressure here taken as Px. On which area it is acting? Simply this is 2x and the length of this one is L. So that is equal to 2x. This is on which the pressure force is acting on this area. So due to the internal, simply on internal surface. Now coming to the external surface, simply that would be, what about that? Px plus the pressure is at the outer surface becomes, so we have to take negative for the net force, that is Px plus dPx. This is the pressure. On which area it is acting? Simply it is acting on the x plus dx. So on which area x plus dx? It is at a distance x simply, that is equal to 2 into x plus dx into L. So after concluding that, simply after simplification, so this is the hoop stress, so this is the bursting force. If it is simplified, say as equation number 1. Now the second one is the resisting force. Second one is the resisting force. On which area stress is developed? Very simple. Let us take the same cylinder. Simply say as, so this is the a cylindrical shell. Alright. This is the cylindrical shell. It is clear. So very simple. So on which area stress is developed? Simply, so this is the portion stresses are developed. Simply let us assume resisting force F, assumed as resisting force F is equal. So it is the hoop stress in the element, then the resisting force. What about the resisting force? Resisting force is equal to stress into, so let us assume the stress is F1 here. On which area it is acting? Say this is the dx, that is, it is also again dx, that is into 2 into dx, and overall the length is L. Say this is equation number 2. Simply creating equation number 1 and 2. So therefore, so stress F1 here assumed as stress F1 into 2 into dx into L is equal to, so px into 2x into L minus px plus dpx into 2 into x plus dx into L. So after simplifying it, finally this becomes, after simplifying this one, finally we will get F1 into, that is the force F1 stress, F1 into dx is equal to minus x into dpx divided by dx minus px into dx by, so dx, that is equal to dx. So simply it becomes, finally it is F1 is equal to minus x into, so d suffix px divided by dx minus px. So from this equation finally we can conclude one thing, that is equal, this can be rewritten as sigma x, that may be represented as sigma x. Finally that may be rewritten as sigma x, or F1 is equal to, so that is equal to what is that, minus x into dpx by dx minus px. Say equation number 1. So this is one equation from the forces. What we did, simply let us see the cylinder of thickness, say as T. Here let us assume T. So its ratio is greater than 1 by 20. Then this is called as, let us see, Px is the radial pressure, Px plus dpx is the pressure on the outer surface. This is the outer surface, this is the inner surface. Alright, in which let us consider a elemental area or elemental ring. So from that, so what about the bursting force? Simply the pressure is the pressure force is acting on the surface. On which area? That is acting on this area. Again on the outer surface, this is the net force, bursting force. Then calculate the resisting force, which is equal to stress into area. So here the stress is taken as F1, on which area it is acting. So it is acting on this area simply, that is 2 into dx into L. So what about the simply these two are equating. Bursting force must be equal to resisting force, simply that is equal to, so resisting force equal to something, that is finally we obtain the one equation, that is in terms of the stress. Now consider the longitudinal strain. Let sigma 2 is the longitudinal stress, longitudinal stress. So simply the longitudinal strain is given by epsilon 2 is equal, as we know that, sigma 2 by E minus nu into sigma 1 by E plus, so there is a radial, that is nu into, simply nu into, so px by E. This is the, here px is the compressive. From this you can rewrite as strain longitudinally is equal sigma 2 by E minus, so nu by E into sigma 1 minus px. This is the, here sigma 1 is the circumferential stress. So in Lami's theorem, this strain is assumed constant. This strain is constant at any point. Since sigma 2 is constant, and this term becomes sigma 1 minus sigma 1 should be constant. It means this term should be constant. Let us assume sigma 1 minus px is equal to A. So this is the constant. This can be rewritten as sigma 1 is equal px plus 2a. Say equation number 3. Simple, this is equation number 4. So what about this? This is a circumferential stress. Again, this is also circumferential stress. Simply substitute this value in equation number 1. Finally, what about the equation number 3? This is the equation number 3. Simply substitute in it. What about that value? That is equal, simply this is equal px plus 2a is equal to minus px minus x into dpx by dx. So that is equal to, it would be px plus 2a. This can be written as px plus 2a plus px plus, that is equal to 0. Simply it is px plus x into dpx by dx is equal to 0. This can be rewritten as, simply that becomes 2 into px plus 2a plus x into dpx by dx is equal to 0. So from this equation we can say, what we say, that is equal, simply from the above equation, this can be rewritten as x into dpx by dx is equal to, so minus of 2 into, so px plus a, this is very important one. This can be again rewritten as, what we have to do, simply, so dpx divided by px plus a is equal to, so that is equal to minus 2 into dx by x. This is the generalized formulation. now I would, this is for the elemental ring only. Now calculate the, so for entire one, for that entire integrating, so on either side, integrate the above equation on either side simply, that is equal, finally it is integral dpx by px plus a is equal integral minus 2 into dx by x. Finally it becomes 1 by x, simply that becomes log of x px plus a is equal minus 2 into log of x. Finally there is a constant of integration. Here the constant of integration is rewritten as log of px plus a is equal to minus 2 into log of x plus log b. The constant of integration is written as in such a way that, so therefore this can be rewritten as, that is equal to, what we have to do, minus log of x square plus log b. Again this can be rewritten as in another way, that is equal to log of b by x square. So finally px plus a is equal to b by x square. So from this equation the radial pressure, so the radial pressure, that is equal to px is equal to, so what we have to do, simply px is equal to, so we can rewritten as px is equal to b by x square. This can be rewritten as px is equal to b by x square minus a, say equation number 4. So we know that, so this value is substitute in it in the equation number 2, that is equal to what we know. So we know the sigma, we know the px, that is equal to, so this is the sigma. Substitute the px value in this equation. So substitute px value, this is equation number 5, in equation number 4, simply sigma x becomes, sigma 1 is equal to written as sigma x is equal, what about the px? Px is equal to b by x square minus a plus 2a. So that is equal to b by x square plus a, say equation number 6. This is the sigma x. So we developed two equations. One is for the pressure, that is equal to, second one is hoop stress. One is the radial, second one is the hoop stress. Finally from the Lami's theorem, so there are px is equal to b by x square minus a, sigma x is equal to b by x square plus a. These are the equations for the thick cylinders. Here a and b are the arbitrary constants that may be found out by using the boundary conditions. So today we discuss analysis of a thick cylinders based on the Lami's theorem. As per the assumption, the Lami's theorem stated simply the strain is constant, or the longitudinal strain is constant across the cross-section area. Based on this assumption, we formulated the two equations. Px is equal to b by x square minus a, sigma x is equal to b by x square. So next let us see the compound cylinders.